Hello, fellow Darksiders. Today I will be reacting to Don't Go to Walmart at 4 a.m. an SFM creepypasta. And as always, I will leave the video in the description the credits for the maker of the video and the creator of the original creepypasta. This video also comes with an announcement that I will discuss at the very end. So with that, stay tuned and enjoy the video.
I used to work as an overnight stalker for Walmart.
Huh.
For those of you who are unaware of what a Walmart is, it's pretty much an oversized convenience store. Selling anything from clothing to food to electronics.
I don't know.
If you are in need of something, chances are Walmart has it.
Thank you for the
As many of you are aware of what a stalker is, I suppose I should still explain what it is I did. Basically, whenever you walk into a store and you find yourself mindlessly glancing over all the various items on the shelves, somebody had to put them there.
Comment down below, would you guys steal stacks?
And that somebody was me. It's pretty much cut and dry as far as tasks go. Either you're taking inventory or unloading products from the back. However, for the most part, it's the movement of items from the back housing area to the shelves.
Alright.
For a lot of the youths in the US, working at Walmart is generally a first job location for those who don't wish to dive into the chaos that is fast food service.
I don't blame
As for myself, I ended up with the job after recently getting laid off. The job market was rough at the time, and me needing an immediate source of income, I found a few other options.
Yeah.
The job itself was fairly simple, and the supervisors were quite lenient on some of the regulations.
Oh, that's nice.
For example, during my shift, I would be allowed to listen to music on my iPod while I worked. I'd be allowed some moderate breaks. To be honest, as long as my section got finished and I wasn't late or belligerent, I was pretty much left alone to do my job.
Nice.
I spent the first few weeks acclimating to my new schedule and surroundings. A lot of time was spent learning the ropes, so to speak.
There's a lot of
meeting other coworkers, learning what is expected of me, the ins and outs of taking inventory, as well as proper stocking etiquette. Yes, I said stocking etiquette.
Yeah, please
such as don't
block
block the aisles, refrain from leaving boxes strewn about. If a customer is attempting to get an item you are blocking, to move your cart out of the way completely. Apart from learning the job, I found the toughest transition to be the hours. Working the night shift can be somewhat daunting. Having to wake up when the sun is setting and coming home when the sun is rising takes some getting used to.
Here's how the average man's life would change if he never saw an ad again. Day 1, he would install Pi on his computer without spending a dime because it's 100% free. Day 2.
Now, it's no secret that certain individuals frequently shop at Walmart. Even though customers come in all shapes and sizes, you do get some strange customers from time to time. From people dressed up in outrageous costumes to customers not dressed up in, well, anything. Hell, in my first week, a rather large gentleman walked up to me wearing nothing but those old school gym shorts. You know, the ones that are far too short for anyone to be wearing legally.
Anything.
He then demanded I tell him where the office supply department is.
You could find anything there.
Why he's seeking the office supply department at 2 o'clock in the morning wearing gym shorts is beyond me. But that's not what this story's about.
You're just the worker, you can't question.
One night, after settling into my routine, I decided to take a much-needed break. Normally, there is a specific area for employees to take breaks, but me being a smoker, I usually took my breaks out back where the shipment trucks and dumpsters are. It's not the greatest of places, but it's quiet and beggars can't be choosers, am I right?
This definitely is the plot of
I was standing out there,
he's out there in
enjoying the peace and quiet, watching the light from the single street lamp bounce off the green sludge the dumpsters were leaking.
Okay, that's...
When I saw movement out of the corner of my eye.
That's not good. That's green sludge.
From where I was standing, there were 2 semi-trucks side by side.
Prime and his twin brother?
I thought I saw someone or something duck between the 2 when I glanced over.
No, you're just...
Now, I know this goes against every horror movie ever made in the history of anything, but I called out to it. Hello? And just like in the movies, nothing responded. My mind first thought about a homeless junkie who was sleeping out back, but didn't want to have the police called on him for loitering. Then my imagination began to shift to a knife-wielding psychopath waiting for me to walk around that corner.
Yeah, an active imagination
and slit my throat.
Is your worst
Once that thought popped into my head, I quickly noped the hell out and went back inside.
Situation. Terrible.
I went back to work and put the whole experience out of my mind. I put it out so far that I found myself going back outside again for my second break.
Oh, nice.
It was around 4 a.m. and I was heading into the home stretch of my
4
shift.
4 a.m.? Holy crap.
As my hand rested upon the doors when that earlier experience came rushing back to me. After negotiating with myself that my need of nicotine was greater than my need to live, I pushed the door open and stepped outside. After walking outside, I instantly noticed something was wrong.
What?
The lone street lamp from before was off.
Uh-oh.
Now, I had taken my breaks later in my shifts before when the sun was beginning to rise and the light outside would be turned off. But it was still pitch black outside. What I should have done was turn right back around and go back inside. But in a moment of tired confusion,
because you're fucking stupid.
I accidentally let the door behind me click shut. It was one of those external doors that are always locked from the outside to prevent thefts.
Alright, so
normally I would just prop it open, but in my stupor, I forgot.
Oh god.
Hearing that click, I felt my heart begin to beat faster. I tried to calm myself, rationalizing that it was only a 2-minute walk around the building to the front. So I stood there, in the dark, the only light emanating from the ember of my cigarette.
Well, then you better get your ass moving to
Then I heard something that made the blood drain from my face.
Oh, I'm surprised it wasn't a chill going down your spine like every other creepy
coming from the direction of the trucks.
Okay.
Slowly, I turned to look over in that direction.
You are in trouble now.
This time, I didn't say anything. I just stared.
Well, maybe you shouldn't stare.
I found my eyes trying desperately to adjust to the darkness.
Maybe you should just, leave.
After a moment, I could just make out the outline of the nearby truck. I attempted to comfort myself again by thinking it was just the homeless guy.
I think you should just make a break.
Apart from the smoking, I'm actually in pretty decent shape, so unless the guy was a sumo wrestler, I figured I could handle myself in a fight.
20 years. You know,
that's when I saw it.
I'm actually in pretty decent shape. Don't smoke, guys.
There was a part of the truck that was much darker than the rest of the metal.
Don't do any of these addictive substances.
The dark spot stretched from the ground to near the top of the trailer. The shadow was in the shape of a man.
Okay, well then...
There was a person standing next to the truck, and they were facing me.
I can see that.
My fight or flight instinct took over, and I found myself doing something I never thought I would do in that situation.
Should take over, and you should just run.
I shouted at whoever it was.
Oh boy.
You got a problem, pal? I said, trying to sound tough.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm not sure what unnerved me more. The fact that it didn't respond, or the fact that it remained motionless. For a brief moment, I thought the shadow that I was talking to was just some dark paint on the side of the truck.
Whatever the hell.
Then it moved.
Okay, yeah, you know what?
I watched it take a slow step towards me. And in that instant, I almost screamed.
You really should.
The sudden movement made me jump back and thud against the door.
Oh, God.
I felt my throat constrict and my mind went blank.
This is all your fault, man.
People always describe scary encounters as being frozen with fear.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I couldn't move. It was just, I couldn't remember how. I know it may sound strange, but I genuinely couldn't remember the most basic of functions. Such as blinking. Watching this giant person grow closer to me made me feel like I was shrinking. I felt my eyes begin to water in response to not blinking. When my eyes finally couldn't take it anymore, they shut.
You really shouldn't.
In that nanosecond, my eyes were closed. This thing had closed the distance to me and was now about 3 feet away. I could see it much more clearly now.
Diddy, is that you?
Its body was tall, but incredibly thin.
Goodness gracious.
Like this creature hadn't eaten in years. Its appendages were equally as long as its torso.
With you, isn't he?
The skin on its body was like charred meat.
Ooh,
almost like it was covered in ash.
Yeah.
I didn't want to look up at its face.
You should probably.
But my eyes drifted up without my consent.
You know what? I think you should do that because it's funny.
Its eyes were paler than my skin at that point.
I kill these
Seeing
things
them
every
up
day
close, they almost glowed against the darkness. Its mouth was jagged and dripping some type of oozing liquid.
That's a cool effect.
What scared me the most
props for that. I like
was how utterly quiet it was.
From the lips.
Like it was some sort of hunter
I've done
stalking its prey.
I've toyed with it before, so
even at this distance, If I wasn't already aware of its presence, I probably wouldn't have seen it.
11-minute video.
Suddenly, it raised its bony arm towards me. The arm was almost long enough to reach me from where it stood.
Is it gonna, like, touch you?
Whether it was instincts or watching too many martial arts movies, my brain suddenly came back online.
Yeah.
I swatted its arm away and took off as fast as I could to get around the building. The entire time I sprinted around the building, I felt as if its fingers were grasping at the back of my neck.
Yeah.
My lungs started to burn. I wanted to throw up. And if that thing touched me, I probably would have destroyed my pants. Rounding the corner, I crashed into a late-night customer's shopping cart, sending the contents flying.
Oh, man.
I quickly scrambled to my feet and looked behind me. I was alone.
I guess it's not pursuing you for some odd reason.
Alone with a very angry customer. My supervisor was, for lack of a better word, pissed.
Yeah, your supervisor.
He scolded me, replaced the products for the customer, and demanded an explanation.
With a fireplace
At the risk of blaming my situation on a monster, I told him I was simply locked out and ran around to the front. That I wasn't paying attention and ran into the customer accidentally.
You don't have to
For
say
the most
monster,
part, I was technically telling the truth.
Or something.
I didn't stick around at that job for much longer. I ended up finding a decent desk job uploading sales data for a local company.
That's a good gig.
It's a strict job and very boring, but the pay is great and I don't have to work at night.
You know what? After that,
I'm not sure if it was just my bad luck that the creature came after me, or
things like that anymore.
If it simply likes to hang outside of stores when it's completely dark outside.
Probably best not.
But I'll never go to a Walmart at 4 a.m. ever again.
That's a very specific time.
And I would advise you all to do the same.
Alright, well, thank you for the advice, buddy. So what I was going to say, Darksiders, is that I will be unavailable for the next 2 weeks. I will be vacationing. So in that time, there will be no new uploads, no new videos. I'll try to upload some shorts. I'll try to keep you guys updated on my community tab, but no promises, no guarantees on that. But just wanted to let you guys know that I will be unavailable these next 2 weeks. But once I do return, I have many new forms of content planned, including a multiversal villain conquest storyline, which is essentially a series of videos I'm going to narrate about a group of villains with the goal of obviously taking over the multiverse. And I feel like that is going to be what really spearheads my channel into a new age, so to speak. So with that in mind, thank you all so much for these past few months. You guys have given me so many views and so much love, and I cannot express enough how much that means to me. And hang tight for the next 2 weeks, you know, because Crowski von Kronos is coming, and he's coming with a vengeance. And he's coming inside you. Yeah, okay, sorry about that. But seriously, stay safe, stay happy. Remember to always praise the dark gods, and I'll see you soon, Darksiders. Peace.